Hi everyone, today I'll be showing you how to colour eyes and fur. I'll be colouring an image that's made with an application that's called Mixtoon Monsters. Mixtoon Monsters is currently available for Android. I'll put a link in the description. And what you can do with this application is you can mix and match different monster parts to make your own monster. As you can see here on the screen, I've got two monsters that were made with this application. So now that I've coloured the body of the monster, just with the basic colour, I'm going in and starting to colour the eyes with a light blue and a very light green, just to give the basic roundness of the eyes. If you're using Copics, you can follow along with the colours that I'm noting. With the irises, it's the same method. I take a darker colour to the exterior of the iris and I go in with a lighter colour. So now I'm going in and I'm starting to develop the shadows a bit more using darker colours. I coloured in the pupils and keep on going and trying to make the shadows even darker. Don't worry about adding too much colour or too much shadow when you're doing this, as long as the colours stay similar. You can usually blend Copics out if you're using a good blending paper. I usually use Express It blending paper or Perfect colouring paper. It's important when you're using this technique to use a paper that blends well. It doesn't necessarily have to be thick, but that does help as well if you're going to be layering on colours. So here I'm going in with the Posca and the Jelly Roll to create the highlights in the eyes. I think this is very important to create the sort of watery look that eyes have. So we go on to the fur. What I'm doing here is I'm creating the shadows that would appear below the fur. It's an important concept to get. You can't actually draw the fur itself. This is because the markers are not able to draw the light that would hit the fur. And so what we're doing is we're colouring the shadows underneath the fur. I'm doing it quite in a quite simplified way at the moment with these triangle shapes because I'm drawing a sort of cartoon. But if you imagine when you try to colour fur, the first thing that you would try to do is just colour lots of lines. And that's because you're used to thinking of hair or fur being lots of different lines, because the different blades of hair are making shadows. And so you're drawing these shadows. And these shadows, when you draw the lines, they're made by the single blades of hair. So here I'm trying to simplify it a bit because it's a cartoon monster, and so I'm just drawing the tufts of hair that I would imagine are in a triangle shape because he's got shaggy hair. So now I'm going to start blending these out, and I hope I can explain the blending process well for you. What's happening is the hair is coming from a part where there's shadow and it's going into a part that's light. So it's going to first be the part that creates the shadow underneath the hair. You can see that I'm putting red in then at the moment. And then it's going to blend out and become one of those orange points. You see? And so each part of the hair is going to be dark and then light. And this creates the layered effect that you're starting to see here. it's a good idea to think of the example of fish's scales. If you've ever drawn fish's scales, you usually colour the part that's underneath one of the scales and then blend it out to make it lighter, and you carry on one after the other like that. Well, this is the same method, but to give the impression of fur instead of scales. On the left-hand side of the drawing, you can see there's a zigzag underneath his eye. You see, I just blended it out there. That shows how important it is to blend from dark to the new lighter shade, because otherwise you'll end up with a kind of zigzag all over your drawing. So now I'm going to go in with the jelly roll. At the moment I'm just highlighting the skin, and now I'm going in with the jelly roll to the edges of the fur to make that even lighter. I'm not sure whether this looks better or whether I'm just going a bit crazy with the jelly roll again, but I don't know, I kind of like the effect. In a minute I'm going to make a horrible mistake with the Posca pen. I put it on the nose and but then I just added some more and tried to make it look like I meant it. That's another quick tip. So I hope you liked this tutorial. Please subscribe if you'd like to see some more, and have a lovely weekend. Bye.